Welcome back to the channel. I'm Willow, also known as Mute. I've recorded this video about 3 different times, and if this one does not work, then we're scrapping it. This video is mainly going to be about who I am and kind of to let you guys know more about me, because I've realized that all my other videos, I don't really go in depth on who I am. So, obviously, like I said, my name is Mute Chaos, but in person, my birth name is Willow. I'm Canadian. I'm 20 years old. I'm born in the fall. I'm like 5'6", between 5'6" and 5'8". I don't feel like measuring myself, but I'm not super tall. My dad's about 5'8". My mom's like 5'10", and my brother's 5'11". So I come from a family of tall but not too tall people. Growing up, I was raised by a single mom with my older brother. My parents divorced when I was about 6 or 7, which is when we moved here to Cambridge. We were originally in Brampton. And I started going to school here in grade 1, met some really cool people. I met my best friend Cassie Finney, who in grade 8, really, she ended up moving to Newfoundland. So if you're ever in Newfoundland, yeah, and you see her, if you happen to know her, say hi. So there might be plans on visiting Newfoundland, because I gotta see her again soon. And then going into middle school, I pretty much knew the same people. My elementary middle school was the same school, so it was a kindergarten to grade 8, and then you graduate, go to high school. In grade 7, we got like some new students because our school didn't have 7 and 8, so then they came to ours, and I met more people. And then going into high school, I met even more people, but also not. Made a good group of friends. I don't really keep up with a lot of them, but that's just who I am, unfortunately. I keep my friend group in my circle very small, which I wish I didn't, but that's just, I guess, who I am. If you would like to join the friend group, follow me on social media, mainly Instagram. If you follow me, mute.chaos, you will find that's my main account. And then, maybe if we become friends, you may or may not have access to the private account. But growing up, like from a very young age, I wanted to have a career with animals, a future with animals. I wanted to ride horses and have a farm and dogs and cattle and whatnot. It was a huge dream of mine. To a degree, it is still a dream, but I don't know. We'll see. And then, so that dream carried all the way till middle school, and then there was a point where I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I really got into music around the time, even though I was already really into music beforehand. My dad introduced me. He was heavy, like, 80s, 90s music, so I grew up with that. Iron Maiden, Stone Temple Pilots, Metallica, like all those bands. I really grew up with. Kiss, all of them. And then in middle school, I really started getting into like international music, and so then my mind really went, I don't know what I want to do. So then in high school, when everyone's like, well, you need to know what you want to do because you have to go to school for it after, you gotta get credits to go to that school. I felt so lost because I was 14 being told, well, this is what you have to do, and this is going to be the thing that you do for the rest of your life, so you have to choose it now. And that's quite stressful for a young kid. I know everyone can probably relate to that. So in high school, I was just so stressed, didn't know what I wanted to do. And then because I was still really into music, I decided, what, my goal is to become a music producer and a sound engineer and work with all these international artists, because for some reason I find international music to be a lot more, it piques my interest more than the music, I guess, that we have here. I don't know why, but it does. So I was like, yeah, I want to go work with them and produce music for them. And then a lot of people told me, well, you can't do that. You don't know any skills. You don't play any instruments. You can't do any of that. And then I started getting like targeted ads on YouTube from like a beer company. And it was like these female producers and DJs, and it was like, yeah, this industry is so hard to break into as a female. You get so many like issues and it's so hard to like, and I was like, ah, so I'm gonna give up on that dream. So it was quite heartbreaking because, I was so confident. I was so, no matter what anyone in my life said to me, I was like, I'm still gonna do it. And then it really kind of, I don't know, took its toll. And I was like, okay, maybe I can't do it. So then I really became confused. And then COVID hit. So in high school, my high school offered a program called Special High Skills Major, SHSM or SHISM, we called it. So I was an arts and culture SHISM's kid. So a lot of my high school credits were in the arts. So I had visual arts, photography, guitar, vocal music, and then a lot of English credits. So COVID hit. I couldn't finish my SHISM because I needed a co-op credit, and we couldn't do that because of COVID. And so I dropped out of that and continued. I graduated from high school, so I have a high school degree. In Canada, your parental guardian has to sign off if you are to drop out of high school. So if my mom did sign that, I would not have graduated high school, but my mom was like, no, you need a high school degree. So I guess, thank you, Mom, because I wouldn't be in this program, this college program that I'm in now. But COVID happened. I was supposed to take a gap year. That gap year turned into 2 years. So I graduated 2021, and I got my first job. I worked there for 3 months. It was at a doggy daycare. I learned quite a lot about them and how I will never, ever bring my dog or someone else's dog to a doggy daycare or dog park from those experiences. And I'm still owed quite a lot of money from that owner, but the business is not around, and even getting the labor board involved, I still have not seen a cent of any of those lost wages, so that's great. So that was a great introduction to the workforce. And then after that, I joined the warehouse, and so I became forklift certified. I can drive propane and electric forklifts, which is pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool since I'm only 20 and I got double certification pretty much and a G license. At that place, I also operated like heavy machinery, so like presses that, like machine presses, we had metal coils that we'd have to run through them and all that. So I learned all those processes. And then I was supposed to go to college. Well, even prior to that, I was supposed to go to college as well. So I was set to go to a program called Equine Care Management, run through the University of Guelph. And I put in a deferral for 1 year because COVID was still happening and most of the stuff was still online. And then when that second year came around, everything was still pretty online with a lot of mixed courses, and I wasn't really too keen on that, so I ended up not going to that program. And then I joined the warehouse, and then I was set to go to another program, animal care, which was held through Durham College. It was supposed to be May start, so I quit my warehouse job, and then I got an email like a couple weeks later that was pretty much saying, we didn't get enough students for May start, so your program is canceled. So that was a great thing to hear. I loved that. And then I took a bit of a vacation, learned some life lessons that way. Came back. I started working at another warehouse where I was purely on forklift, very fast paced. It was really, really cool. I learned a lot more there. I learned how to load and unload trucks, like all these things that I learned. And then in June, I applied to the program that I'm in now with Conestoga College, which is broadcast radio. And then I quit my job. September 1st was my last day. I put in a 3 weeks notice because I loved the job there. I loved the people. I wanted to end on good terms. So September 1st was my last day. And then September 7th, I think it was, I started my program, Broadcast Radio, with Conestoga College, as I said, and I haven't looked back. So this is the first time I've ever actually been on campus as a student and registered as a proper student with courses and a course load and everything. I just finished my first year, which I'm super, super proud of myself for that. So I'm off for the summer for about 4 months, looking for some more work. So hopefully soon you may or may not hear me having a job or two. And going into second year, I'm actually really excited to meet our first years when I'm in second year, because I've already met one and she's super, super cool. Her name is Slchld, and yeah, I really look forward to meeting them. And yeah, I'm just super, super proud on the fact that I've made it as far as I have, even after going through so much shit. So yeah, that's pretty much me. Like, some of my hobbies I have is I'm a big video game player, although you probably won't really see content on that because I find recording that content, I'm not as happy doing that than when I play without recording it. So I don't think I post much gaming content. And then I also did horseback riding for a collective of about 3 years. I started when I was maybe 10 or so, and then I took a break, started again when I was like 14, not even, no, I was like 12, 13, I can't really remember. And then most recently was about 2 years ago, and then I stopped because of school, and I haven't been back because money's been tight. I would love to get back into horseback riding. I would love to learn. I was originally learning hunter jumpers, and I was doing a bit of jumping, but I really, really want to get into the Western discipline. I really want to learn like actual like feasible like farm skills. I want to learn like how to work with cattle and all that. So I've been trying to find a farm that offers that, but I haven't been lucky. So if you know any farms in the Kitchener-Waterloo region or anywhere close by, like 30 minutes, an hour away, that would be willing to teach someone, I will gladly take that opportunity. And then my other hobbies are mainly just music related. So like listening to music, I go to a lot of concerts. Like a lot. I have a good like 5, 6 or so lined up now. So as you guys know, I have Dying Fetus, we have Stone Temple Pilots, Sum 41, Golden, also known as G-Soul. I got 2 more coming up. So I have Cold, who's also one half of Off on Off, and then an artist who I'm still learning to pronounce his name, and he's a Korean Canadian singer songwriter by the name of Slchld, Slchld. He's a fantastic singer. Like, it's so lovely hearing his voice. So I'm really excited for all these concerts. You will also get content on that because I promised you guys that you would. And I also have some new podcast episodes coming out. If you want some hints, because I don't really usually say what the content will be about for the podcast, if you want hints, follow my Instagram, mute.chaos, because I have put one of the artists that I will be touching on in my stories to ask if you guys would like to see or hear about him. And then obviously you guys know about Dying Fetus because that's just what it is. G-Soul is also another one you know, but some of the other stuff, you got no clue what it's gonna be. So, subscribe, turn on notifications for when videos are posted, like, comment if you liked it, or if you have any suggestions for content or topics for the podcast, or if you want any musicians, concerts that you want me to check out and record and do reviews on, let me know. Follow my socials. The links are in my bio in the Linktree link. It has everything: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, my website that I have that I may or may not buy the domain to. Yeah, all that. So seriously, thank you for joining me on this journey. I look forward to seeing where we go in the future and how we get there and what we do. And in the meantime, like I said, subscribe, turn on notifications, follow my socials. And thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for listening to my rambles about who I am. This has been Mute Chaos, also known as Willow, and I'll see you next time.